Welcome back to Great Day St. Louis. It is tax season, of course, and the scam artists are at it once again. Criminals calling, sending phishing emails and texts. And CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger joins us to help defend us against the predators. She should wear a big S, or a big D maybe, as defender on her chest. I don't know. But let's start, Jill, with the IRS and how it communicates, because that sometimes can be a red flag, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, just think about this. Generally, the IRS uses snail mail, the United States Postal Service. They are not emailing or texting or using social media or sending you QR codes to discuss your personal tax issues. They also are not asking for credit and debit card numbers over the phone. I think a good rule of thumb is that tone is important. We might be scared of the IRS just in general, but they're not aggressive. They're not demanding immediate payment. They are not threatening to bring in local police. If you are getting that kind of messaging, you run the other way. That is a big red flag.
Good to know. Now, we always find ways to kind of counter these measures by the scammers, and they always find new ways to come at us. So what are some of the current scams that are going around?
Well, first of all, you know, when we talk about that IRS impersonation, it's getting really good because of AI. But the next big category would be something called income tax identity theft. And the way it works is a criminal steals your social security number. They file a fraudulent tax return in your name. They're claiming refunds, credits. They're diverting this money to an account for them. And here's the scary part. You may not discover this until you try to file your own legitimate return. And the IRS basically rejects it and says, wait, we already have a return here. So, of course, this is a headache. It can delay your refunds. To prevent it, I cannot strongly enough say, please do not share your social security number. Try to submit your return in a timely fashion, and maybe even consider an identity protection. That's an IP PIN that's issued by the IRS that will help prevent someone else from filing a return using your social.
I like that idea. You said a lot of these times that when they're asking certain key questions, we should turn and run. Where do we run? Who do we tell about identity thefts and concerns about scams?
Well, first of all, if you think you've made a boo-boo, clicked on a link, and you're just scared that something bad happened, or it is actually, like, oh my gosh, this did happen, no matter what, go to identitytheft.gov. That's the federal government's one-stop resource to help you report and recover from any kind of identity theft. The site's really helpful, step-by-step advice, helpful resources. You can print out checklists and sample letters. You know, look, you're going to get through it. It's going to take time, so bring your patience with you.
All right, so don't make a boo-boo. Be like Jill. You can see Jill regularly on the CBS Mornings and the CBS Evening News. For more analysis, please go to JillOnMoney.com.